What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more Danmachi, and today we're going to be talking about the new EX levels. Now, going into the EX levels here, there's a couple things that you need to know right out of the gate. First of all, you are facing Argana and Bocce, and as such, they're going to be kind of a pain. In fact, Bocce is going to SA you at the end of turn 1, and Argana is going to SA you at the end of turn 2. Argana is going to buff for strength, and both of them are going to have dark damage buffs. So if you can remove the strength and preferably the dark damage from them, obviously that's going to be kind of the best possible scenario. But I actually went with a build that doesn't do that. And I went with that build for a very good reason. I'm going to focus more on some defensive buffs to make sure that we're not kind of wiped out as these moves go on. Because they're going to SA not only turn 1 and turn 2, they're going to SA again turn 7 and turn 8. So building your team for survivability does have its benefits. And all the thing to remember here is you don't necessarily need to S-clear this to get the rewards. All you need to do is clear it. So if you follow my rules here, you'll easily be able to laugh at this event and at least clear it, if not, you know, maybe even eventually S-clear. Remember, S-clearing is cumulative, technically. So I've done it, completed the quest, and I've done it without losing any members. If I can do a 12-turn finish, then I've got my S-clear. It doesn't have to be all done in the first turn. But I'm not really focusing on the S-clear, I'm just focusing on getting a win out. So let's go ahead and jump in here. And let's talk strategy, okay? Now, first things first, with Haruhime, we're going to do something weird. I'm going to come out of the gate with Sheikah. That's going to be our counter rate and our penetration rate. With Argo, I'm going to go ahead and use his first skill. That's going to give physical resist and magic resist to all allies. So that's going to cut down some of the incoming damage. I'm going to use Galamus. Now, I'm going to sack Galamus. After this turn, Galamus is gone. And I'm going to use Galamus to decrease single and all target attacks that are incoming. All right, that's going to apply to all three of these units, and that's going to make sure we don't take any unnecessary damage incoming. And I'm going to use Tiona for her debuff. That's going to be strength and magic 40%, along with dark resistance down 35%. So it's basically Haruhime's debuff with Goblin Slayer's debuff. So it's very nice. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, the other thing you need to be careful of here is basically our SAs are going to have to be very well calculated, because they, as you saw here, are going to debuff our damage. And when they do that, well, life's going to kind of suck a little bit. Alright. And as I said before, surviving the first 2 turns is the most critical thing. Alright. So we don't necessarily feel good here, but we're in a good place. Let's go ahead and buff everything up. Just do the rest of our buff stack. And there we go. She got a heal. Can Argo heal? Okay. I was really hoping Haruhime would heal Argo, but I still think we'll be fine. And the main one you want to pay attention to. Now, obviously, Otaro is coming in with none of those debuffs, so whoever you bring in on the backside needs to be somebody especially tough, so that they don't get hit too hard with that. And the other thing you'll notice here is that our debuff stack is gone once again. So we need to make sure that we rebuild that debuff stack. So let's go ahead and do this. And let's do this. And I'm just going to go ahead and do Otaro's base AoE attack. Now I know that there's... Basically we could have just built up Otaro's defenses with his attack. But Otaro's such a beast, I really just want to focus on using his attacks more than anything else. So now we're just going to go back and just do basically our AoE attacks until it's time to SA. And I'm going to try to hold off and do a double SA with Otaro and Haruhime. The goal here is to be doing double SAs as much as possible because it gets extra damage out. Plus Haruhime is going to buff the whole team, so it's just kind of a no-brainer. So we're going to keep doing AoEs, because if you notice, while normally when you're up against 2 units, doing single targets is preferential, they haven't done it yet. At the end of this turn, they're going to buff or debuff single target damage on themselves. So AoE damage is kind of the name of the game here. Now, if I was paying close attention on that turn, I probably would have done a single target attack with Otaro, but you know, it's only so effective. It's like Every once in a while you could pull it off. It's really not an everyday thing. And the only thing that really does suck is we're debuffed again. But the debuffs run out at the end of this turn. So we're going to do one more turn. And on turn 7, we could do a double SA. Okay? But remember, I said end of turn 7, Bocce's going to SA again. So, got to keep our eyes peeled on this one. All right, here she goes. Now, I'm not overly worried about it. We've got most of our defensive buffs out, so it's not going to hurt. It's not going to feel especially great, but it's not going to hurt. I hope. And the only thing it really does suck... I have the 100% stun anklets, or 100%, I'm sorry, poison anklets on everybody, but her SA does reduce poison resistance, and so sometimes that poison does break through the guard a little bit. It sucks. It's no fun, but we're going to have to soldier on. Double SA here. Let's see what Otaro does. There we go. And the other thing you want to bear in mind here is you do want to use physical units because magic does get, the magic defenses do get buffed. So it's got to be AoE physical units, dark and thunder preferred, though you can debuff your way out of some of those holes. In an EX mission, it's probably best just to pay attention to what they're requesting and utilize that. Now, I say that as she just buffs strength and I'm not using a strength debuffer, or buff remover or whatever. But I feel confident enough in my team, I'm not overly worried about it. Okay. Turn 8. All right, Yosuga, Fury. Let's go ahead and do this one more time. Oops. There we go. Perfect. Now, hopefully we survive this. I emphasize hopefully because having that poison on Tiona does worry me a little bit. Okay. No, she made it. She's good. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to have to do our buff stacks again. Yeah, we don't really have a choice. We don't really have a choice. Let's go. Hopefully Haruhime with her counter rate up is going to heal Tiona. That is the hope. There we go. Perfect. Once again, Tiona is kind of my biggest concern right now because she is only +3. But I wanted to bring her in here because I wanted to show you that A, the new units are really good. B, that even +3s do stand a chance in this event. Now, obviously, if you're doing the same type of build I'm doing and you're bringing someone in late game, you do want to bring that person in. Like in case my Rage Otaro, you want to bring that person in as a +5. That person's got to be max limit broken in order to survive that last onslaught. But the rest of your team doesn't necessarily need to be that. Tiona is just living proof of that. And she's not max ascended either. She's got the 3 purple stars, the base, and she's +3. So she's holding her own. She's doing just fine. All right, now on this turn, I'm going to go ahead and do a double SA. Let me just double check here. I don't remember what Tiona's SA does. Guard and critical rate down 60%. Yeah, that actually might be worth. Yeah. You know what? If I don't do that, she's not doing damage. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Let's see how this do. All right. Ooh, I didn't pay attention. I did it when we were debuffed. I should have paid attention. I shouldn't have rushed it, and I should have waited till the debuffs had expired. Oh, that's gonna hurt the damage output quite a bit. That is truly unfortunate. And that's why sometimes paying attention to the details is so critical. Because you can imagine how good that hit would have been without the debuffs. For +3 to be hitting that well on AoE is very, very respectable. All right. Let's see. Are there single target debuffs? Yep, 1 unit resistance is still up. So let's go ahead and keep doing that. Apparently I had him doing the wrong skill, but that's okay. A couple of minor mistakes here and there, and it just kind of shows you that there is a lot of forgiveness in this event. It's really not... I wouldn't even say it's one of the harder EXs we've got. I'd go so far as to maybe even say it's one of the easiest we've gotten. So, that's my opinion. That's my hot take on it. And you can kind of already see where clearing this within 12 turns really is not going to be a problem if you've got a full max limit broken team. So I'm going to work on that a little bit. And some of that could just be because I turtled early in the game. Alright, now we're dealing with another SA. Hopefully we're good. I emphasize hopefully. Ah, excellent. Excellent. Alright, Yosuga. We're still debuffed. Now, they're taking a chunk out of Tiona, and I don't like that. Honestly. I really don't like them hitting Tiona that hard. But, little I can do about it. Ooh, that was a big hit on Tiona. And the worst part is I don't have a heal for her. And debuffs are gone. And I can't re-debuff with her, so I'm going to go ahead and have to do Akane here. Well, fingers crossed. I need Haruhime to heal. Haruhime's got to heal here. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so that was a little bit of a nail-biter. I'm not going to lie. That was not a comfortable situation. But, and I emphasize, but, we've got a double SA to do. And we're not debuffed anymore. So this will probably be the end. So it's turn 16. So once again, like I said, not an S clear. We've got a little ways to go. We could build a better team. But, you know, if you just sit by and if you manage to get past the SAs, it's really not that big a deal. Even the SAs aren't that big of a deal. Give yourself enough defenses that you can get beyond that and finish this up. Now, I am going to go ahead and try to do an S clear on this. So I am going to work on this a little bit later. But for now, I mean, I think that pretty much shows you how easy this can be. Tiona survived. It was a little bit of a nail biter at the end. But she absolutely did survive, and she held her own, and she did quite well. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to amend my team a little bit. We'll probably work on this a little bit on stream tonight. But for now, that's going to be the video. Like, comment, share. Catch you all in the next one.